Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Know these career pathways or structured roadmaps that help students bridge education with professional goals. And the key routes include traditional universal degrees from different universities and different domains of medicine, engineering, vocational, diploma courses, etc., etc. And also it involves apprenticeships and other courses like BTECs and tech boot camps. So all these things are involved in this process. These pathways ultimately branch into knowledge-based, skill-based, freelance and entrepreneurial careers. So what do they really know from this? How do students really gain from this is that by mapping their potentialities, their skills with the corporate world, with the work 4.0 or 5.0 that we are saying. So the students can explore their career mapping resources and align it with the practical frameworks of their future readiness. Additionally, with all local institutions which are there in their respective countries, focusing it with the career focused programs that emphasis on real world skills and internships in their own region. So we have talked about the academic level expectation and the standards. And we have talked about exactly how do they do it exactly from the brain mapping system and with the orientation, with the pathway orientation, whether it is knowledge-based career, skill-based career, entrepreneurship-based careers or freelance-based careers, anything that we take it exactly and go about exactly in different domains of going about not choosing a profession once the study is over, but before that. And it helps the learners to map their academic skill to variety of job opportunities and helping them to clear the problems or the hindrances which are there in their way, such that it enabling them with a dimension of exactly a different horizon where they can look at the job opportunities in different discipline, in different areas of work. So that's how it is. And on that note, today we have gathered here to talk about vocational education. So far, we have talked about engineering, we have talked about medical, we have talked about basically finance-oriented studies. And then like from finance, we moved on to, last week we were talking about skill-based education and thereby mapping it with the government resources and government organizations. And today we are talking about vocational-based education, the jobs, the education that will immediately fetch you a job such that you will be able to work and also you will be able to pursue your studies. So those kind of career prospects is that we are going to see. So basically, we started by how to build your profile, how to build your candidature, such that it is more presentable, whether you are pursuing your studies in universities in abroad or universities in India, or otherwise, going ahead with exactly, in the sense, studies and also internships and the corporate environment, all the three as parallels. How to go about it, how to start working when you are studying as well. So those prospects were also discussed during this program and how to build your own career, how to build yourself such that you're able to see education as not as a preparation of life, but life itself, and you just take up all the changes that comes in your way. So on that note, please allow me to share my screen as we are going to go ahead with the presentations. There we are. With sincere thanks to IIU. As you know, IIU is Global Education Confederation, which is established in 195 countries, 6 continents, and it is definitely a leading education system with a core mission of delivering innovative programs and quality training to young learners and leaders globally. Founded by Mr. Piyush Pandit, a visionary founder, a passionate educationist for the last 2 decades, and who is also a very committed socialist, who has created this platform for sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, sharing best practices, and that brings all the other information all under one Zoom link or one virtual podium like this, such that we are able to share our experiences and guide people in their own pathways. Thereby, it has its own tagline of World's First International Internship University, inspiring, inventing, and igniting young minds. So moving ahead to today's topic, vocational studies, which is a blueprint for work-ready education after the 12th grade. So if we are thinking about work-ready education, so the pillars of success could be starts from the basic point of self-discovery, where you're identifying unique strengths, values, and passions, and with the mapping it with the holistic education of life skills, equipping yourself with life skills, with design thinking, integration, and the EQ development, that is emotional quotient development, such that people are able to move forward with a strong foundation, with the future-ready structure of promoting careers in India, which uncover immense potential within India's rapidly growing economy to combat the brain drain. So this is how the pillars of success goes, starting from the self-discovery, combining with the holistic education of equipping yourself with the skills required, and then mapping it with the career market. So this is how it just happens. So defining the landscape of higher education when it comes to the vocational training. Why is it important? And how does it really help the learners? Is that in traditional college education, it is theoretical, broad, often includes subjected, unrelated to the major. And in traditional college education, as you know, it is basically academic study and generalized comprehension with primarily classroom-based theoretical instruction, where a general degree applicable to the variety of professions within the field. Whereas when it comes to the vocational training, what difference does it make? It precisely focuses on specific skills and the direct knowledge which is needed for that specific craft or trade. For example, if you talk about carpentry as your vocational education, then that particular skill. If you're talking about teacher as becoming a teacher as a vocational education, then specific skills required by the teacher is being enhanced. If you're talking about nursing as your vocational education factor, then your specific skills on that particular area of nursing is being enhanced with the direct knowledge needed for the specific craft or trade. And moreover, it doesn't stop there. It goes on to the next step of work ready upon graduation, which jumps you right into the profession. Soon after you finish the course, you are into the job. It is like you finish the course, immediately you are into the job. Not that after finishing the course, you are thrown into the job market and you are going to search for your job. It's not like that. This is called as future ready pathway, where the classroom training itself is combined tightly with the hands-on practical execution. As you can say, when you do teacher training, you do B.Ed, and when you do B.Ed, you go into the class and take classes even for the small children, and you are given certificate for it. So the classroom training combined tightly with the hands-on practical execution with specific industry skills in technical, creative, and hands-on trades of computer skills, culinary arts, bookkeeping, etc., etc. So if you are a candidate for the vocational education, your DNA goes like this with the core qualities. Who wishes to successfully pursue vocational studies is that basically you will have a very good teamwork, seemingly integrated with functional units like home science department, that is kitchens, construction sites, tech teams, etc., 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 with a problem-solving tendency, navigating unexpected challenges into live workflows, practical application of you bridge the gap between the academia and the job market. So a strong bias between the action and executing the task-oriented skills with critical thinking of analyzing the situation logically to deploy right technical skills and with good articulating ideas clearly in collaborative real-world environment. So this is how your DNA is formed when you are into the vocational education. As we all know, the diagnostic engine starts from the 4-quarter square method with interest, aptitude, personality, and orientation, with decoding the intrinsic motivation capability of personal hobbies, with the interaction of exactly with the individual and the environment with people involved in it, with little bit of mathematical computing, scientific knowledge, skill-based and social sciences and languages. This we have been seeing for all these weeks. So I'm just moving ahead with decoding learning approach of role and compatibility with exactly whether it is highly academic, highly practical, or low academic or low practical. So you work on your graphs of exactly mapping your academic with the practical situation such that you place yourself in all the four tags, whether you're an academic person or a practical person or a people person or closed and preconceived person, exactly. And then you move ahead with the structural vehicles of the vocational education. So all these mapping, when you build your profile, you will be doing from your side as an individual. So when you do that, when you have a very clear idea, then 10 plus 2, that is with the 10th grade plus 2 with the general ability being there. Bachelor of Vocation could be your study, or BA, Vocational Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Vocational Studies, or BCom, that is Bachelor of Commerce in Vocational Studies, with a 3 to 4 years course can be chosen with the graduation work-ready compatibility. And the racial policy definitely helps. Emphasis is now on the 4-year undergraduate route with the bachelor degree and the research intensive master's degree. And this has been told as every time the Masters of Philosophy has been discontinued over in all the places in India, across India, but the student can definitely check with individual university websites for current implementation status, because they have their own discretion and they have their autonomous body who is working on it. And some people do provide it. So that you can check it up. And with the landscape and opportunity of the categorized specialization, with tech and innovation, it's AI, machine engineering is one. With the Internet of Things, with data web and analytics, with the business process analytics, tech and innovation with this AI and machine engineering, with healthcare and sciences, it could be biomedical, medicine imaging technology, with clinical, aqua lab technology and hospital administration. With creative and media, it is animation and graphic design with digital film production, fashion design, and commercial art and interior designing. With business and management, it is e-commerce and digital marketing, logistic management, banking and finance, insurance, real estate management. With engineering core trades, it could be business and construction tech, automobile technology, renewable energy, and chemical, petrochemical engineering. All these could be categorized as a specialization of your vocational education stream. So whichever is your area of interest, you can choose it in different domains of tech and innovation, healthcare and sciences, creative and media, business management, and engineering and core trades. So when you do that, your career trajectories goes like this. With modern technology and creative arts, you can become an animator, you can become a web developer, you can become a chef, planning and budget, and you can also become a database administrator. So with the macro employment avenues on next step, you can always explore your possibilities in government sector, whether it is defense, police, railways, India Post, the public sector infrastructure initiatives. With the private sector, a multitude of opportunities ranging from single owner establishment to large multinational conglomerates. Also, you can check it up. With the self-employment, always you can venture into business and you can become an entrepreneur, and thereby it's going to pave the way for your vocational studies. So in general, on the overview, we have talked about the difference between a traditional education with the vocational education, which offers a direct hands-on path to the workforce by focusing on specific technical skills rather than a broad theory. And definitely it has outlined the practical benefits and specific method of matching students with their ideal careers, whether we are going in for a massive industry reach or you're going in for a future work-ready graduation. So the aptitude is yours. You can map it with your own interest, can map it with your own hobbies, you can map it with your own orientation. So moving ahead, in specialization, we are going to think about hospitality industry now with the vocational education as a base. Now, first, what we are going to talk about is hospitality industry, which includes hotel management, travel, and culinary management. So the blueprint for these careers are called as 5-star careers, and this will definitely guide you to the higher education in hotel, hospitality, travel, and culinary management. So if your umbrella is hospitality management, your core management could be hotel and crafts of culinary arts. So with the hospitality management, who oversees administrative, operational, commerce activities across multiple industries of F&B, travel, accommodation, events, includes maintenance, spa services, concierge, and reception, etc., etc. So if your interest lies there, you can really think about it. And coming to the hotel management, if that's your field of study, that's your interest, which is focusing on, involves marketing, administration, catering, housekeeping, front office, human resource, and financial management. and with the culinary arts, part of science and part of art, which focuses on preparing the cooking, plating, and the presentation of food, appetizers, etc., with the disciplines of food science, nutrition, home science, and seasonality and plant-based substitutions, etc. So, on the whole, this vocational education definitely has one wing of hospitality management in it. So if you're going to prove about what all different careers that you will be thrown into, you can be with the accommodation manager, with the front office, with the front desk, and you can be with the kitchen and chef and catering manager, definitely with preparing food, and especially you will be working exactly in the culinary part of it. And with executive suite, you can be as a hotel manager who will be managing the operations and front desk, housekeeping, F&B, maintaining high quality guest experiences. With the dining room, you can always think about something like a restaurant manager who supervises the food service, maintain healthy standards, control inventory, and handle budgeting and customer relations. With the studio, definitely food stylist could be a creative professional who visually arrange food for photography, film, and advertisements, etc. So these are the different careers that you can think about when you're talking about hospitality management. This hospitality management has another sector, another domain which is added to it, which is another part, is called as, it comes under aviation and operation. So that was with the food industry, this is with the aviation industry. So coming to the aviation industry, that you can become a member of a cabin crew, flight attendant, and ground operation staff, and also like a travel facilitation, like a ticket fare, ticketing agents, tour operators, managers, and with the allied services as event organizer who will organize tickets, events and organize tickets and etc. And mixologists and bar chef who will applying chemistry to the craft innovation beverages, and also with the specialized guiding of adventure tourism guide and health tourist guide, etc. So from the food industry, as we started with the hospitality, first was the food industry, now it's the aviation industry that we have explored the possibilities. And with all this, definitely you can check up your probabilities in government service and academia leadership as well. So when it comes to the government service, that Indian service, civil service, and graduates can appear with CSAT to join the prestigious bodies like IAS, IPF, IFS, IRS. But the roles include administration, finance, and secretariat, etc. With the Indian Armed Forces, like Combined Defense Services, CDS, exam to train the Indian Military Academy or OTA, and engineers may join via university entry scheme without any written examination. So apart from that government sector, there's another sector which is more kind of R&D, where the academic leadership, academic careers which are there, mentoring and educating the next generation of hospitality professionals, and reach research output, overseeing the research activities, writing and publishing books and technical papers to advance the theoretical and practical knowledge in the industry. So thereby, if we are thinking about hospitality industry, basically as our course, one of the core study of the vocational education, the degree decoder goes like this. Undergraduate stream, which starts from basically 10 plus 2, that any stream, that is BHM, Bachelor of Hotel Management for 4 years, that is Bachelor of Hotel Management in Catering STEP, that is BHMCT, for 4 years again, and Bachelor of Tourism and Travel Management, as we have seen, that BTPM for 4 years, and BSc in Hospitality and Hotel Administration 3 years, with BA Culinary Arts 3 years, and postgraduate requires the bachelor's degree of MHM, MHMCT, MTTM, and MSc Hospitality for 2 years, with a doctor requires the Masters of PhD and DLS, etc., etc. So this goes like this, with a comparing course specialization of hotel management, hospitality and hotel administration, hotel management and catering technology, where the core specialist is overseeing daily hospitality operations, including the front office, housekeeping, marketing, and HR, with the food production, accommodation, operations, hotel engineering, and financial management, with the managerial depth of focusing in strategy, facility planning, and comprehensive operational oversight, with strategic management, facility planning, hotel accountancy, and tourism marketing, and a wider reach of combining hotel operations with deep science of food preparation in large-scale catering, with advanced food production, room distance management, and total law commodities, etc., etc., etc. So if we are doing that exactly, with which tasks exactly, you can be with the core focus on the economies when it comes to the travel and tourism management, logistics, and legalities of the global travel and destination management, With the culinary art, your arts and science preparation, similar level ingredient interaction in aesthetic plating. With the aviation and hospitality travel, ensuring safe and smooth transportation with high-tier customer service in aerospace environments. That's what we have seen so far. So, if you're that kind of a five-star candidate whom we are talking about, what would be your DNA? You will have a very strong base of emotional intelligence, gracefully managing bliss, relations, and team dynamics, with cultural awareness of navigating an international client base, with tech savviness of operating modern booking and facility management system, attention to detail to maintaining uncompromising standards of quality and safety, leadership and organization coordinating complex multi-departmental operations, flexibility of adapting unconventional hours of rapid problem solving. So the hospitality demands a unique blend of hard skills and interpersonal mastery. So plot your strengths on this radar to identify your areas of careers and growth. So it starts with the four-quarter square method. As you know, that's the structured approach for self-discovery and career mapping with your interests, aptitude, personality, and orientation, which is being mapped with your aptitude and orientation exactly with the academic, practical, people, and close courses that we have seen so far, with the basic skills of math and computing, science, social sciences, and non-written skill base. If these are the skills that we're talking about, these are the orientations, place yourself exactly where you reach, whether you're curious, explorative learners, visionary leaders and strategists, high creative and hands-on, or you require more motivation exactly. So you need to navigate your future. A career in hospitality, travel, and tourism is not merely about service. It is about mastering the art of human connection and operational excellence. So by utilizing the four-quarter fire method, you can align your internal aptitudes with the rigorous academic pathways available and you can build a formidable career. So the key takeaways goes like this. With India's rapidly growing economy, the potential for visionary leaders in domestic hospitality has never been greater. Choose your specialization, hone your emotional intelligence, and build your future of global tourism, which is a big window for going into the global arena. That was another. So we started with the food and then we started the aviation. We moved on to the aviation as such. Now we are coming to the another domain that is sports and physical education, a strategic framework for students pursuing the Bachelor of Physical Education, BSc, BCom, and BBA in sports after 12. So the philosophy of career selection is starts from the self-discovery, holistic education and careers in India, refining the physical education with a well-rounded education focusing on skill development, teamwork, and physical fitness, cultivating the life skills alongside the athletic prowess. Thereby, the physical development, it goes into lead-up games and team sports, physical conditioning exercises with individual lifelong physical activities. With social and mental development, cooperation, team leadership, fair play, and friendly competition with holistic well-being and resilience. So, if you are focusing on physical education as your career, please think that does your DNA fits into any of this. So, we start with the diagnostic four-quarter fire method with interest, aptitude, personality, and orientation. Matrix with the personality blueprint of explorer, visionary, creator, and the builder, with academic low to high and practical low to high. Matrix exactly with your elite standards. Thereby, the ideal candidate profile for physical education tutor is that your practical orientation should be 100%. Your crisis management should be 80%, somewhere between 180. Your discipline adventure should be somewhere between, that's also one of the things that you need to think about, and physical and mental stamina, technical and talent, and leadership and direction. If these are the core characteristics that we are thinking about, success in this sector is rarely just raw athletic talent. It requires multi-dimensional, resilient mindset. As we have seen about the football match, how the players were playing without giving up. That should be your DNA. And when it comes to the sports industry ecosystem, Zone 1 offers the field of technical, direct interaction with athletes, human performance, and training optimization. Zone 2 talks about the front office, managerial, running the business facilities, and operation of the sport organizations should be that. Zone 3 is the broadcast and brand allied with law, media, public relations, and equipment manufacturing. Zone 4 is infrastructure with the government with national level administration, civil service, and defense force activities. Exactly. You will be conducting the international tournaments and etc. So moving on or counting it down deep into the zone 1, that is the field, the technical careers. You will be having a performance and coaching where you will be a coach, instruction team guidance with strength and conditioning as speed, endurance, fitness development, and also any gym instructor or anybody for that matter, athlete development specialist with holistic physical and mental health. So when it comes to the performance and coaching, it's the first zone that we are talking about. In the same field, there is one more discipline that you can think about with the science and analytics. You can become a biomechanist, the motion analyst, and the movement mechanism which is being analyzed. Sports scientists, like biology and physiology, apply to performance. So you can become a sports scientist. Sports data analyst, where the people who compare the whole, anchor the whole match. So they give the analytical letters. So the sports data analyst with statistic evaluation of the game strategies. Sports technologists, where variables and tracking systems are being used. So, leaving aside coach, leaving aside the science, defense, and mechanisms, there's one more field which is associated with the health and recovery. You can become an athlete trainer, injury prevention diagnosis with exercise physiologist, rehabilitation and chronic condition recovery, sports nutritionist, dietary optimization, sports psychologist with mental resilience and performance anxiety. With zone 1 field as a technical careers, so many careers are being associated with that. So zone 2 with the front office and managerial careers with the executive leadership, athletic director oversees all institutional athletic programs, hiring and promotion. Coach manager handles organization scheduling of individual clients and teams. So if your interest lies in this executive leadership of the front zone 2 of managerial careers, so you will be if you're inclined towards operations facilities. Your career could be stadium manager, facilities manager, equipment manager, etc., where you will be thinking about the premises and the talents and events asset, sports agent who is conducting this event, and sports scout, and also events coordinators who will be overseeing the logistic and location staffing and tournament execution. So your front office managerial careers could be this. The zone 3 with the broadcast and the brand, unlike careers, the legal business of sports lawyer, contract administrator, business development coordinator, where you can be looking into the legal financial interests, including contracts, intellectual property, anti-doping, etc. And as a contract administrator, you could also think about negotiating for monitors, financial, safety compliance of contracts, business development coordinators, new client relationships, and generating revenues. Apart from this, when it comes to the broadcast, media can't be left behind. So media, brand, and manufacturing, sports commentators, commercial live, real-time play-by-play analysis and audience engagement, PR manager and marketing consultant, main things, public image, promote events, teams, and protected products. Equipment design and manufacturing with engineering, innovative, high-tech performance, air managing, import and export. With zone 4, the infrastructure and government opportunities lies with the Indian Railways, Indian Defense and Indian Services, or all these government organizations are organizing marches, and also all these carriers that we have talked about, they have a room over here in all these government sectors as well. So, your action plan and your education is roadmap goes from step 1, foundation, STEM classroom, step 2, the bachelor degrees of 3 and 4 of BA honors in sports related fields, BBA honors in sports related management and administration, BCom and B honors in sports industry specialization, Bachelor of Physical Education in Sports, and Bachelor of Physical and Sports Sciences. And step 3, specialization and training into a technical, managerial, allied government roles based on the 4-quarter star profile. So, your strategy starts here. Sports industry is no longer just a game. It's a sophisticated ecosystem of science, management, media, and human performance. Use your self-discovery to find your position on that field. So this is what we are seeing in this career roadmap of sports and physical education, basically, with the 4-quarter star method, finding the technical and scientific careers, managerial and allied careers with the government sector and public sector, and what is the nomenclature, degree nomenclature says about the degrees, duration, and general eligibility. Moving ahead, There's one more field that we are going to talk about is literally how to go about it. This is going to be really like a concluding part of it. Exactly. These are the different variety or innumerable diverse styles that we have talked about. How to go about it, how to be there. The blueprint is that the ultimate summer school strategy guiding is a curated catalog and the decision-making framework of high school undergraduate students seeking for academic enrichment. So if your interdisciplinary philosophy says that if it's for the modern summer programs that are scattered across no boundaries, exactly this, when it is school time, definitely you will not be able to really focus your time. I'm not talking about 10th, I'm not talking about the board examinations, just below that, the school's classes before that. So during the summer vacation time, you should start exploring your opportunities with all summer camps, with all internships, stuff that. So the most valuable profile building happens in the intersection of the digital disciplines, whether it is business and entrepreneurs, enterprise, or humanities and society with the creative innovation and also the impact of the leadership more with the economics and climatic change with the two approaches of AI, technology and data, with the data side, etc., etc. So it goes like this, how we can go about it, where we can go about it with registered, authorized government institutions, the geographical hubs of 2025. There's 18 elite opportunities of heavily concentrated NCR is happening in Pune, Mumbai and Bangalore corridors. The NCR hub with the high densities is Ashoka, Sonipat, Shivnara, Delhi, Manav, Vathana, Faridabad, IILM, Gurgaon, and Jindal, Sonipat. With the western hub, it's the same, Pune, Symbiosis, Pune, NIMS, Mumbai, Amity, Mumbai, Ganpat, Mehsana. And also the southern hub, Kriya, Chennai, Price, Bangalore, RE, Bangalore, SMPNG, Bangalore, Alliance, Bangalore, Chanakya, Bangalore. Bangalore is the biggest hub, I think, in southern India. And other noticeable locations are Manipal in Jaipur, and Chandigarh universities in Mumbai. All these universities are definitely throwing up for the internship to start enrolling yourselves before March. So plan your sprints. Notice the density of overlapping and the modular programs in early June versus longer immersive blocks in July. So it starts with April, Asim Trainji, Alliance, May is Priya, and definitely RV again in May. So these are the timelines normally the universities follow. So you can follow them and take them for the format, modality architecture with the modular sprints of 1 to 2 weeks, definitely. Immersive block 3 to 8 weeks, and with the international exchange of global exposures, that is with the Christ University. And the names of the universities are already given there that we have discussed before, exactly. So if you do that, the powers comparison goes with Ashoka, Plain, Priya, and names exactly. How the modality and the schedule goes with the highly flexible multiple editions of spanning of May and June, with fixed intensive block of July 1 to 27, with Priya, two distinct editions of April and June, and NIMS offers both online and offline options as well. With 4 academic signatures and broad foundational tracks, all these are for the other courses, and elect and unconventional with Gen wisdom, criminal psychic and music, and specialized seminars on hide and seek, connect the dots, definitely. These are the names which are quite known to everyone, with hot data focus on global trends using Excel and SPSS. So, ideal student profile, all-rounder seeking established academic prestige, creative thinker seeking diverse cultural immersion, the intensely curious student looking for niche intersections, and analytical student prioritizing concrete data skills. So, that's the thing with the technology AI data track. Definitely, these are the ones that you can consider with Ashoka University, Priya University, NIMS, and IILM. With the business, finance, and startups, definitely these are the economics core startup ecosystem leadership. Definitely, Ashoka plays a bigger role in it. With Asam Premji, Flame, and Manipal, definitely. And inside this, definitely we can't miss out for Priya's 5 days entrepreneurial journey with day 1 with IDA, day 2 research, day 3 prototype, day 4 refine, day 5 pitch. Definitely, these are the things that also you can think about. With the liberal or the psychology society track, with the psychology and mind, again, Ashoka plays a bigger role. Culture and history with the Flame and Kriya, and wellness in society with the Manipal and Kriya. And with the design media and specialist courses with RV University, Jindal, Symbiosis, with media and culinary, definitely Mana, China, Korea, and Symbiosis. With global passports, Christ University, Budapest Business University, Edgehill University, University of Bristol, UK also plays. So your next step is that identify your core track, Review the thematic slides and isolate your top two academic interests. Check the curriculum for every university offers a slightly different flavor. Dive deep into the extra syllabi before committing. Align your timeline with the cross-reference from your school holidays and the blueprint timeline to ensure availability. In case of any further queries, you can always reach out to us. So that way we will be able to, we have guided you from the summer streams with the academic conditions. So with that, we have come towards the end of the session today. So with this, we have completed the last sector at the last domain, at the last discipline, that's the vocational education. So next 2 weeks, what we are going to do, we are going to have a quick recap of all the 6 weeks together, mapping it with the golden triangle of the parent, staff, teacher, and the student. And how to make this golden triangle successful is what steps we are going to see from next week. That's the last week of career pathways. After that, we'll check exactly how to go about it. For any kind of queries, please write to us, and you can always message us in the group, or we can always guide you. If you need guidance, more personalized guidance, we are always there for you to support us. We are here to take your career pathways ahead in the global careers. Thank you so much. On that note, because we have sincere thanks to IIU for creating this global platform of carrying thoughts, carrying these experiences and the knowledge and the possibilities that are worldwide, and we are able to be, we are happy that we are able to guide you successfully in your career process. Thank you so much. Thank you, IIU. Thanks for this great opportunity. I think thanks to Dr. Virginia, who has been always a great support for such a kind of knowledge programs which have been happening through and through, and also Mr. Philip Fundis and the whole team of IIU for extending the good support. Thank you. Thank you so much.